All right, welcome back to the Comic Core. We're still here at Baltimore Comic Con 2019. And with this, we have another legendary creator, Marv Wolfman. Mr. Wolfman, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent. So, Kat, you go ahead. I know you got a lot of questions, so I'm just going to stay out of the way for a second.
All right, so you are one of the greatest creators in my book. You are one of the creative team behind the new Teen Titans. So I've met you a few times. We met the first time at Indiana Comic Con a few years ago.
Oh my gosh.
With George Perez.
I barely remember.
And I met you again at C2E2 this year with George Perez. I was completely cosplayed out as Starfire.
Okay. My memory is pretty bad.
You're fine.
I do
You're
too many
fine.
conventions, so anyway.
Oh gosh. All right. When you were first approached by DC Comics, or when you first approached them about Titans, how did you come up with the idea of involving the new characters and the development of Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg? Particularly Starfire, because that's my girl. I'm sorry.
Well, when I was looking for a book to write, and I figured the best way of doing that is to create my own. And I always liked the concept of the Teen Titans, but I thought it was very much mired in the 1950s and 60s type of DC Comics. So I wanted to update it. I wanted to do something else. And if you're going to update it, you may as well create new characters that work for 1980 when I did the Titans, when I started the Titans, or 1990 and 2000, whatever. You try to create characters that fit then. And Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg were the ones that I worked out the most on. I knew I wanted to do an empath character that I knew, and I built the background, which is a pretty complex background for her. I wanted to do a warrior, and that became Starfire, and I wanted to do a tech wizard who you would not expect as a tech wizard, and that's Cyborg.
Awesome. So, with the CW shows going on now, with Titans hitting it big on the DC universe, what is it like seeing all your characters that you just talked about and created come to life on the small screens?
It's pretty incredible. You don't expect any of that stuff would happen. Certainly not when I created most of those characters. There were no TV shows that had superpowers. There were no movies that did it. So we had no expectation whatsoever that those characters could go into TV or film. The technology didn't even exist back then.
Absolutely. So with all this stuff coming out, is there like a certain storyline of yours you would like to see eventually adapted to something different, whether it be film or TV?
I would like to see Night Force turned into a TV series. I think it's perfectly suited for TV and can be some really strong stories. That's one of my favorites.
Awesome.
All right, so I know you're representing Nightwing right now. Is there a certain Nightwing storyline that you're particularly proud of? One that you think is like, this is my character?
Well, I think the Judas Contract, which introduced Nightwing, probably showed how capable he was, first as a warrior and then as a leader. After that, individual stories, come and go, but the character was established the very first time we saw him. And that's I'm very happy with, because he really hasn't changed character-wise. He's still the character that I saw, and all the writers that have come have done some good stuff and maybe some not so good stuff, but they've all stuck to that character.
Nice. So obviously the collaborations between you and George Perez are legendary at this point. How did you guys originally become a team, basically, and go from there?
Well, George and I were both at Marvel.
Okay.
And I was the editor of the magazine line, and George was going to be drawing White Tiger, I think it was, for the magazines. So I was his editor in the beginning. And we then did a Fantastic Four together, an issue of that. Then when I went to DC and started to develop the Titans, I asked George if he'd be interested because he did such great work on the Avengers and other team-up type books, and he was interested. He wanted to do that, and he also wanted to do the Justice League. So it was an easy matter at that point of having him come over, and he got the Justice League, and we were able to create the Titans together.
Awesome.
All right, so I could talk on and on about Titans. We all know that, but let's say besides the Titans, what would you say is the one team or the one character that you are the most proud of working with or creating, developing in comics?
Well, I really enjoyed what I did with both Superman and Spider-Man, introducing some new characters into both of those books, Black Cat for Spider-Woman, and a ton of different characters for Superman, things like Cat Grant or Professor Hamilton, or they're secondary characters, but they've all survived all these years. Cat Grant has been played by a number of actresses in television. Cyborg and his father have been again in multiple storylines in all over the place. I think I'm forgetting what you wanted what you were asking.
What characters you're truly proud of?
Pretty much all of them. When you can create a character like Deathstroke and he's a villain and you can make people really care about him and make him that big, that's an incredible thing. And again, we didn't expect that would happen, but obviously all the effort that we put into making him good worked out because he's now a pretty popular character.
He's a huge character. I would say he's definitely in the top echelon of DC villains.
Which is
100%.
wonderful.
Yeah, and he's been played by I think 3 different actors in the last decade or so already.
I mean, he's big and
even more than that.
Exactly, yeah. So I know you're limited time. Thank you so much for stopping by. But my last question is for the fans out there who kind of don't know about it. Can you explain why the Hero Initiative is so important?
Writers and artists and letterers and colorists and comic books don't have health care. They don't have a pension. They're freelancers, and any day the work might dry up. And many creators have had to go to the hospital. They're older, they've had serious problems, they don't have the money. The Hero Initiative works with the creators of comics and comic talent and helps them. Too many of my friends have had problems that the Hero Initiative helped them with and got them out of debt, or were able to get them into the hospital and to pay for the treatments.
Well, definitely check out the Hero Initiative if you're here in Baltimore, or if you just you can't make it out but you still want to make a donation. Definitely go to heroinitiative.org. Drop $1 or $2 in and help those creators out. But Mr. Wolfman, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, sir. So thank you so much for your time.
You take care.
Thank you.